Thank you, Aaron. I'm really excited to welcome all of you to our very first BoxWorks Digital. These are really unprecedented times, and I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. In today's session, the Box product team is going to walk you through an update on our product strategy and tell you what we've recently released, as well as give you a sneak peek on what's coming next. So let's dive in and get started. Last year was a phenomenal year for product innovation at Box. We launched a number of new add-ons as well as significant enhancements to our entire product portfolio. Just to highlight a few, we launched Annotations, which is a brand new capability that allows you to mark up and comment on different file formats, including PDF, images, Office, G Suite, and iWork file formats. And what customers are telling us is that the entire review and approval workflow is getting speed up by almost 50% because of this capability. We also launched Collections, which is this new and powerful capability that allows you to organize content the way you want to. It makes accessing files much more dramatically faster, and customers are loving using this capability. In fact, it has one of the highest active use metrics of some of the recent features that we've launched in the product. We also enhanced file request capability that allows any user to create a web page with form fields and the ability to upload multiple files. Anyone, including those who do not have a Box account, can actually go ahead and submit content using this new experience. And what's really fascinating is that ever since we launched this new experience, we've had over 1 million files submitted through the brand new file request capability. With Box for Teams, you can now share and access content through the similar look and feel of the Teams application. And what we've recently done is enhance the capability by allowing the end users to map Box folders with specific Teams channels. We've also enhanced Box for Slack by streamlining the entire file sharing experiencing. For example, you will be now automatically prompted every time there's a user in the Slack channel who does not have permissions to the file that you're actually sharing. This capability makes securely sharing content in Slack really seamless. Box for Zoom is a brand new integration that we recently launched that brings the power of Zoom video conferencing to your fingertips right inside of Box. Now users can start as well as schedule video conferencing meetings right inside of Box. Metadata Query Toolkit is a brand new capability which provides for a new way to access and display metadata and files inside of custom applications by letting customers leverage a SQL-like syntax to perform instant read after write actions on metadata stored inside a Box. We also significantly enhanced the all-new Relay experience, which is Box's no-code content automation solution that allows business users, process owners to self-serve and automate processes that were stuck inside of email, and while continuing to comply with all of the IT and security requirements around full visibility and control. And finally, we launched Box Shield, which offers built-in data loss prevention capabilities through the application of precision security controls by automatically classifying content, as well as advanced threat detection capabilities, including malware detection. And these are just a handful of examples from over 100 features that we've shipped just this year. Customers are taking advantage of all of these amazing capabilities. For example, the Cleveland Clinic, which is one of the most respected hospitals and research institutions in the United States, needs to collaborate with universities and contract research organizations around content that includes protected health information as well as personally identifiable information. By leveraging Box Shield as part of everyday collaboration, the Cleveland Clinic is able to create a secure collaboration platform across physicians, research institutions, as well as external partners. On the other hand, we have State Street, which is one of the world's largest investment management firm. And they need to create thousands of reports on a daily basis that includes confidential and sensitive financial information that needs to be shared out with their clients. Using Box Relay, State Street is able to reduce, in fact, eliminate the risk of client data disclosure and reputational damage by automating the entire end-to-end process of generating these reports, reviewing and approving these reports, and finally publishing it out to all of their clients. AstraZeneca is a pharmaceutical company that develops some of the most life-changing prescription medication in the market. Box is used as a central content hub at AstraZeneca that contains crucial intellectual property and other collaborative content that is accessed through best-of-breed applications like Salesforce as well as Office 365. And a team of more than 8,000 sales reps are able to access sales content while they're out and about in a way that is compliant with HIPAA. So a combination of Box delivering some really amazing business outcomes for our customers, as well as an innovative and differentiated product, has led all of the major market research firms, including Gartner, Forrester, and IDC, to essentially recognize as a market leader in the cloud content management market. Now, as we've gone ahead and talked to our customers, partners, and the ecosystem at large, it's gotten clear that most organizations have accelerated their digital transformation initiatives. And we at Box want to support all of these organizations, and we're actually deepening our cloud content management capabilities and essentially enabling these customers to take advantage of some of the macro trends that are happening around content. Let's talk about these trends. First, sensitive content is moving to the cloud at a faster pace than ever before. Next, new ways of working are emerging where now there are more collaborators both internally and externally, and they require fewer boundaries around how they collaborate, as well as there is a strong desire to increase productivity of all employees, which is driving the desire to automate anything that can be automated. And finally, there's a reliance on an ever-increasing number of applications to get work done. Let's talk through each of these. When it comes to sensitive content moving to the cloud, so far the industry has essentially focused on protecting the perimeter. And what customers are asking for is the ability to protect the flow of the information. And this is where Box is focused on. When it comes to new ways of working emerging, what's really challenging for all of our customers is that external collaboration has a lot of friction associated with it. And automating mundane tasks is still a challenge. So what customers are demanding are new ways, modern ways by which things can be more collaborative, things can be more automated, and things are more intuitive. And finally, the increased reliance on an ever-increasing number of applications to get work done has led to content getting siloed across all of these applications, which leads to inconsistent user experience and inconsistent application of admin security controls. What customers require is a unified content layer that delivers a consistent experience across all of these applications. And that is exactly what Box is focused on. Our investments from a product perspective are focused on frictionless security and compliance, seamless internal and external collaboration with built-in workflow, and integrations with all of your apps. And in order to protect the flow of the data from a security perspective, we are focused on three things. We are enhancing our precision security controls in our Box Shield product. We are providing advanced threat detection capabilities and delivering smart compliance. When it comes to collaboration and workflow, our strategy is to allow you to instantly find and organize content, make collaboration experiences much more real-time, as well as intelligently automate repetitive work. And finally, when it comes to integration with all of your apps, our focus is to deliver a single content layer through which you can have unified experiences across all of the applications and make it easier for developers to leverage Box by taking advantage of the Box platform. And now, to talk a little bit more about security, I'd like to hand it over to Alok. Thank you.
Thanks, Varun. As you all know, the way people work together is rapidly evolving. There are more partners, more remote employees than ever before. And these users are accessing their content from a variety of devices and applications. This leads to a massive risk surface area, and IT leaders need to protect the way work happens today. As a result, Zero Trust architecture is key to the security in the current environment, where you can no longer trust the content, applications, devices, and users within or outside your organization. And Box has been constantly innovating in this space, allowing our customers to implement Zero Trust architecture. If you take a closer look, a typical interaction with content involves a user logging onto a device using Box native or third-party applications to eventually access their content. In order to secure the 4 segments of content interaction, Box provides a list of security capabilities, including 2FA for external users, device trust, device pinning, application controls, and many more. Let me walk you through some of the innovations we have shipped recently, including secure sharing improvements, where we provide visual guardrails for end users as they're inviting external collaborators. We have also enhanced application controls where we've redesigned the UI, allowing the admin to filter 1,500 plus apps and integrations where they can see the state, as well as enable or disable those applications. And finally, we have delivered Device Trust 2.0. With Device Trust, IT can detect personal or managed device and verify the security posture of those devices before allowing the user to access their content. With Device Trust 2.0, we have provided support for audit-only mode, where IT can have full visibility into device policy violations without blocking end users. And we have also improved the detection of managed devices by supporting certificates per device. Now let's take a look at what's next. We are improving the administration of self-service SSO, where SSO certificates can be easily managed, and we are also providing one-click configuration for existing SSO integrations. We are improving external 2FA by providing admins the option to select between SMS or TOTP-based authentication methods. With TOTP support, end users can use common authenticator apps, including apps from our partners, including Google, Okta, Duo Security, and Microsoft. And lastly, we are enhancing the mobile application management support, where you no longer require device enrollment for iOS and Android applications. Still, IT can have full control on their data without infringing on end user privacy while ensuring user productivity. We talked about security across users, devices, and applications, but what truly keeps your business running is content. And each organization has tons of sensitive information, including intellectual property, business-sensitive data, and personally identifiable information. And we are witnessing more and more of sensitive data moving to the cloud across all these industry verticals. However, user errors and risky user behaviors continue to be the top reason for data breaches and data leakage incidents. For example, 35% of employees take sensitive data with them as they're leaving their jobs. 30% of the data breaches are caused by insiders. And if you thought the attackers have taken a break post-COVID, you're wrong. In fact, there has been a massive increase in COVID-related attacks between February and April itself. As a result, IT needs to minimize two major risks for their content. The first risk is around accidental leakage caused by negligent user behaviors. The second risk is content-centric threats, such as malware and risky user behaviors. To solve these major risks, we delivered our product, Box Shield, in October of last year, and it consists of two pillars. With Smart Access, we help you prevent leakage of sensitive data, and with threat detection, we help you identify risky user behaviors and prevent the spread of malwares. Since its release in October last year, we have seen massive adoption of Box Shield. Here are a few statistics. In the last 90 days, over 50 million files were classified by end users alone. On an average, we prevent 400,000 accidental shares on a daily basis. And lastly, we have scanned over 2 billion files against known threats in just the last 90 days. Our customers, Webcore, USDA Forest Service, and Medtronic are using Box Shield. Let me talk to you a bit about Webcore. Webcore is a leading construction company that has built some of the remarkable structures out there. And they're using Box for collaborating on construction projects. Using Box Shield, Webcore users can focus on what they do best, while letting Box work for them by classifying their content and preventing leakage of sensitive data. Please join the Box Shield breakout session later today, where you'll hear directly from our customers, Webcore and Cleveland Clinic. Now let me walk you through some of the innovations we have shipped recently. We have delivered Box Shield add-on for Splunk, where security operations team can easily collect Shield alerts and triage it against other alert sources. We have integrated Shield with Box Relay so that the content can be classified as part of business workflows, including client onboarding process. Based on customer feedback, we have enhanced and improved the end-user classification feature, where the classification label is more prominent in the web app. And we have also added support for viewing classification labels in our iOS and Android apps. We've also integrated Shield with Office Online so that the security controls, such as download and print restrictions, can follow the file as they're being viewed and edited online. It's very powerful. And we have done similar integration with Apple iWork. And lastly, we have partnered with IBM, where IBM customers can use InstaScan for quickly scanning content and applying security classification labels in Box, thereby protecting the flow of information. Now let's take a deeper look into each of the pillars of Shield, starting with Smart Access. Smart Access helps you prevent leakage of sensitive data by giving you the option to define your own classification labels. You can manually or automatically classify your content, and then you can enforce inline security controls that help you prevent the leakage of data. I'm happy to announce the release of automated classification based on content inspection and advanced machine learning. Let's say you upload various text files across different file formats, including Office, PDF, Google Docs, Box Notes, and many more. As these files are getting uploaded to Box, Shield inspects the content of the file, looks for custom terms and PII information types such as social security numbers, and then automatically applies the classification label to corresponding files. It is as simple as that, and it works at scale. To do this, a Shield admin needs to define an automated classification policy which provides a robust criteria builder so that you can select custom terms and PII information types so you can automatically classify your content. Let me walk you through this end to end. When the content is uploaded to Box, it can be classified natively through Box Shield, including the new automated classification feature. Once the content is classified, you can apply one or more of the 6 security controls. Let's say the content is classified as internal. You may want to apply additional security controls such as restricting share links to company only and limiting external collaboration to approved partner domains. In contrast, if the file is classified as confidential, you might want to apply additional security controls such as download restriction and restricting access to third-party applications. It works seamlessly, and it's available to you today. Now let's take a look at what's coming next. We plan to add support for exception handling so that the admin can optionally allow end users to request an exception by providing business justification, which is recorded for auditing purposes. In addition, we are integrating Shield with Microsoft Information Protection. At upload, Microsoft classification labels embedded in Office files will be automatically extracted and applied as classification in Box. This will help you protect the flow of information between Microsoft 365 and Box ecosystem. And lastly, we're adding support for new security controls to make our access policies even more robust. These controls include auto expiry of share links, dynamic device trust as users are accessing sensitive content from unsafe devices, and then automatically applying watermarking based on the classification of the content. Now let's take a look at threat detection. Powered by machine learning and Box Graph, threat detection helps security teams identify risky user behaviors, such as anomalous download behavior, suspicious user sessions, and content access from unexpected risky locations. And we have recently added support for native malware detection. Let's say external users upload multiple files to a shared folder. As these files are getting uploaded, Shield scans these files against known threats, and in this case, one of the files happens to be a malware. So unlike other files, the malicious file can only be previewed, but download and sync operations will be restricted across mobile and desktop apps. In addition, Shield fires off an alert so that the security team is notified, including context for further investigation. So unlike traditional security approaches which quarantine the file, Shield allows the end users to preview the content and remain productive. Now let's take a look at what's coming next. We're adding support for alert exemptions so that security teams can fine-tune the alerts and enable the analyst to be more productive. The alert exemptions can be based on IP ranges, users, applications, and domains. Our partner IBM is building integration of QRadar with Shield so that Shield alerts can be collected automatically and triaged along with other alert sources. In summary, Shield helps you prevent the leakage of sensitive data through smart access. It helps you identify risky user behaviors and prevent the spread of malware through threat detection. And now I can't wait to see how you will use Shield to implement frictionless security for the way your users work today. With that, let me invite Daphne and Chris to give you a brief demo of Shield.
Thanks, Alok. I'm going to walk you through how the admin can easily configure Shield to classify content and enforce security controls on classified content. Here I'm on the admin console. I can define classification labels for my company: public, sensitive PII, confidential IP, and color-coded. I can also create classification policies to automatically apply these labels to files based on what's inside the file. I've defined a policy, Discover Confidential IP, to look for sensitive terms and automatically classify our intellectual property, such as strategy deck and financial reports. Let's take a look at another policy, that helps automatically classify files containing PII. Leveraging advanced machine learning, this policy is looking for social security number, driver's license, and more to automatically apply the sensitive PII label. To automate security controls on sensitive content in real time, I have an associated access policy for each classification label, treating content of different sensitivity differently. Let's zoom into this one. Like many organizations, we have HR services like payroll and benefits outsourced and need to work closely with partners without leaking sensitive PII. So for the sensitive PII label, I've restricted external collaboration to only partners that have signed NDA with us. I've also restricted share link scope so that the only available option for my users when generating a share link will be invited people. With the new device trust check that's coming soon, I can restrict download on devices that fail device trust check. So sensitive content will never get down to unsafe or unmanaged devices, preventing potential data leaks. I can configure a few more security controls, but we're going to skip that for now. So how do auto classification and corresponding security controls interact with users? I will turn it over to my colleague, Chris, to show you how it works.
Thanks, Daphne. As a member of HR, I'm uploading a few files to Box related to my team, including sensitive employee information and a new strategy. Because my admin did such a great job setting up these policies earlier, files are classified as they're added to Box. As you can see, hiring strategy and employee data were automatically classified with the correct label. Clicking into this file, I have a visual indicator for the file sensitivity, an easy way of reminding me to take caution when working with it. And if I want more information, I can always check which security restrictions are applied to the file. Now, each week, I need to share new employee data with our outsourced HR services partner for payroll processing. Let me share this with Patrick and Alicia, our key contacts on the partner side. If I create a shared link, I see that the only available option is invited people only because of Daphne's security policy from earlier. But since Patrick and Alicia need to edit the file, I'll invite them to collaborate. Once I hit send and, oops, looks like I accidentally used Alicia's personal email address. Thankfully, Shield identified that and prevented a potential data breach. Let's see this from Patrick's perspective. Here's the file I collaborated Patrick into. He's able to view it to start his work. As an external user, Patrick can see the classification, so he knows this is a sensitive file. However, since Patrick's device does not meet my company's baseline security requirements, Shield prevents him from downloading the file. Despite not being able to download the file, Shield still seamlessly allows him to get his work done. Patrick can preview the file in his browser, and although local editing is disabled, he can still make edits by opening the file in Microsoft Office Online. Additionally, Shield continues to protect the file during editing because the download and print features are disabled while he works. Patrick makes a quick edit to help with processing, and the changes are automatically saved back to Box. In this way, the security controls follow the file, even during the editing process in Microsoft Office Online. With Shield, files are automatically classified with the correct label, and inline security controls are automatically enforced, preventing leaks of sensitive data in real time, all without impeding productivity. We just walked you through all the innovation in the security space. Now let's invite Tracy to share the latest in our compliance products.
Thanks, Chris. I'm Tracy, and I lead compliance products here at Box. As I'm sure you're well aware, the global regulatory and privacy landscape is becoming more complex. Between 2008 and 2018, there was a four-fold increase in global regulations across areas such as privacy, data protection, healthcare, and financial services. In addition, according to Thomson Reuters, there was over a 57,000 changes to regulations in 2019 alone. As if that weren't enough, there are diverging global and local regulations. Consider, as a multinational enterprise, you need to comply with GDPR in the European Union, as well as CCPA in California. But if you think the cost of compliance is high, please consider the cost of non-compliance. The consequences can be severe, from fines to disbarment, even jail. There was recently a 50 million euro fine for GDPR non-compliance. This is just something you have got to get right. Box helps you to manage this complexity with a built-in, frictionless approach to compliance. We build compliance into everything we do from the ground up. It's the way we think about and design our platform. We also provide you with tools that you need to figure out what you have and don't have in your environment so that you can manage that complexity. Let me show you how. Our goal is to meet the high watermark of compliance across every industry worldwide. We want to take the guesswork out of it for you and allow you to manage that complexity. We do this by adhering to extremely rigorous compliance controls that are applied across the entirety of our platform. Consider, we apply for privacy regulations, GDPR and CCPA, employment regulations such as EEOC and FLSA, industry-specific regulations for financial services, FINRA, for healthcare, HIPAA, for life sciences, GXP, for public sector, FedRAMP. And because the controls are embedded in our entirety of our platform, they apply to every Box customer, from a 10-person organization to a large multinational enterprise. Box provides you with the tools and configurations you need to be compliant with a single platform across the entirety of your ecosystem, with one administrative and one end-user experience. Let me tell you more. For data residency, Box enables you to store and process data in region. We even allow you to move data from one region to another region seamlessly. And this doesn't impede collaboration. You can collaborate across one or many regions with a seamless end-user experience. Box for Life Sciences is GXP ready and enables you to leverage Box for both regulated and unregulated use cases. We already have a dashboard that enables you to view your GXP test results. We are extending that with test failure monitoring as well as release notes. Box for FedRAMP is already FedRAMP Moderate certified. We are extending that to a FedRAMP High certification. This means that we'll be able to enable federal agencies to collaborate on sensitive, high-impact data. I would now like to tell you about the second pillar of how Box enables frictionless compliance. This is content lifecycle management. Box gives you the tools that you need to manage your content. We allow you to keep the content that you need to be retained due to regulatory or litigation purposes. We allow you to remove the content that needs to be eliminated due to compliance or data or general risk management purposes. We already have a robust platform across retention, discovery, and disposition. Today, we are announcing that we are extending these capabilities with event-based retention. This enables you to create retention policies based on any custom date. This means that you can retain and then dispose of content after a configurable amount of time for uses such as a client contract expiry or a departure of an employee. Box has also been working under the hood to improve the way that retention performs. This means that your policies get applied more quickly. For legal hold, Box is improving legal hold with legal hold export. This means that you can export up to 4 terabytes of data directly from the administrative console. That means that you can reduce your data set and make it available to external e-discovery tools. This capability is already available in beta and will be generally available soon. As you can see, we have a robust roadmap across compliance, and I can't wait to see how you leverage frictionless security and compliance across precision control, threat detection, and smart compliance. Now, I would like to invite Faizan to talk to you about collaboration and workflow.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, I'm Faizan. I run end-user applications here at Box. I'm here to talk about collaboration, both external and internal, and workflow. So Box was one of the early pioneers of cloud and secure content collaboration in the cloud, whether you're doing it inside the enterprise or the extended enterprise. Now we're making the Box experience more intuitive, more collaborative, and more automated. This year you will see more innovation than ever before. So first, let's talk about all new Box. It is better, it is faster, it is simpler. So if you look at all new Box, it's built from the ground up and it has a simplified look and feel. The navigation has been updated so that very frequent actions are prioritized. We've improved the custom branding and there are a ton of improvements sprinkled all over. So as an example, you can see your recents right there on the top in that carousel and get back to them easily. Similarly, we have enhanced our mobile experiences. There have been experience updates to the core, so browsing files and folders on the iPad is faster. We support Apple Pencil on the iPad, so you can scribble in text fields without putting your pencil down and needing to type. And the core experience is just so much better than before. Next up, we have mobile document scanning. So you can capture content on the go. Right there from within the iOS app, you can scan a document, convert it into a PDF, and put it in a folder in Box. You can capture photos, you can record audios. In Box Drive, we're also making some great improvements. A very frequently requested feature is the lock-unlock experience. So we're giving you lock and unlock, which reduces conflicts. And you get a notification when a file is unlocked. You can now also view active uploads and downloads and see their progress. And you can choose the cache location if you want to give more system resources on your default drive. We announced collections this year, which is a way to organize in any way you choose. It's your view of the world. You can group files and folders, shared or personal content, and you can access this from the left navigation. You can see context labels for easier findability. This year, we're also doing search enhancements. So you'll be able to get to the content you need faster. We have an updated quick search experience. You see relevant personalized results. You can also see shared link results in mobile now, and you will be able to search in folders on Box Drive. As you scale your content in Box, it's really important to have really fast performance. So as you put more and more content in Box, we're working really hard to make the experience much faster. So this year, the load times on all files, recents, and preview have improved by 50%. The mobile browsing experience has improved by 10x. If you had a ton of content in all files and folders, you will find the mobile browsing experience 10x faster. And there's a 25% improvement in Box Drive folder loads and search. As we continue to push these limits, we have also increased the file size upload and downloads to 150 GB. Now, let's look at collaboration. So in collaboration, Box Notes will see a ton of enhancements coming up next year. You will have enhanced support for tables, easily add rows and columns. You'll be able to resize images, and there will be new formatting options. You will also see rich link previews in Box Notes coming soon. Next up is annotations. So we want to make your feedback and review cycle the simplest and the easiest. So we have launched freeform markup or text comments. This is supported for 36 file formats. It's available on web, it's available on mobile, and it's also available on iPad with support for Apple Pencil. You can actually select an area and leave a comment about that particular area if you're looking at something that is visually rich. Or you can highlight a bullet point in a contract or a bullet point in a PowerPoint, select that text and leave a comment, and everybody will know exactly what you were talking about. Similarly, if you're working on an iPad, you can just pick up the pencil and draw what you're talking about and leave a comment with Scribble, and folks will be able to consume that whether they're on an iPad, whether they're on Android, whether they're on the web. So we're really excited about all these new innovations. And now, to give you a deeper walkthrough, let me invite Jamie.
Thanks, Faizan. I'm Jamie Keene, and I work on the web products here at Box. As you can see, I'm using the all-new Box UI that was just highlighted in the previous section. You'll notice that everything is a bit easier to find with more space, updated navigation, and infinite scroll support. And with our soon-to-be-released Recents carousel, I can jump back into any work in progress in just a single click. I'm not going to do that just yet, because I want to highlight another important piece of the all-new Box experience, support for collections, which you see here in my left navigation. I've created collections for things like conference materials, specifications, and team reference documents. But today, we're going to take a look at my product launches collection, where I've gathered documents from all the cross-functional teams that work on this product launch and cut it down to just the few I need to take action on. In fact, I'm working on updating the product specification with our team today, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the latest spec. Now, it looks like, unfortunately, this section is still referencing last year's doc, so I am going to use annotations and send a quick comment over to Zara, asking her to update to the latest. And that was actually pretty quick, and I'm sure she'll get to that soon. Now, these days, my office is anywhere in the house, so I use Box on my iPad to keep me productive as I move around throughout the day. Oh, look, someone on my team just sent me an annotation on our product spec. Better see what's going on. It looks like Jim thinks the dimensions shown here are wrong. Now, I'm not sure what he means. I'm pretty sure this is the correct diagram, so I'm going to send him a quick comment and ask for clarification. I see. It looks like the engineers made a change and we're going to need to update accordingly. Got it. Now, I'm going to make that change later, but while I'm here on the iPad, I'm going to go ahead and open up our DWG design file and ensure everything there is up to date. Oh man, it looks like this actually has our old design as well. Now, thankfully, Annotation supports AutoCAD files, so that's going to let me coordinate with the team without actually having to open the app on my desktop. I'm going to circle the part that needs updating using my Apple Pencil, and then use the scribble support to quickly write out a comment explaining what needs to be done. Great. Everything else looks good. And with annotations, we're going to be able to build this documentation in record time. And with that, I'll hand it back to Ibrahim to talk about the latest updates to workflow.
Thank you, Jamie, for that introduction. Hey folks, my name's Ibrahim, and I'm here to talk to you about our workflow products. So as we've talked a lot about today, the future of work will be intuitive, collaborative, and automated. And we believe that as every business shifts, not only will you digitize, but you'll also structure critical content-centric processes. But there's a challenge with how that works today. A lot of these processes are manual and buried in email. They require complex tools and specialized knowledge to actually automate, and they're designed to be internal only. But with Box, we believe you have a way to not only automate it, but to do it with a very simple tool that any end user can use and actually uses our external collaboration capabilities that are built from the ground up. We see such processes that are buried in email across every department, in every industry, and in every enterprise. And over the last year, what we've learned from talking to all of you is that these can be summarized into 2 recurring patterns, which we've named review and approval and on and offboarding. Let's walk through them. With reviews and approvals, we provide you a variety of triggers that you can use to automate the assignment of tasks and the flow of content across your enterprise. And with on and offboarding, we give you the ability to structure how a workspace is used based on access and security privileges. These 2 foundational capabilities form the backbone of Box Relay, which a variety of customers are using today to automate content-centric critical processes. Let's take a look. We'll start with Heidrick & Struggles, which is an international executive search firm, which uses Box Relay to not only be smarter about how it tags the content in its knowledge repository, but to actually reduce the lead time for a search. Before Relay, a lot of this was manually done, and it led to a lower close rate. But with Relay, we've streamlined the entire process. Or let's talk about PRA Health Sciences, which is a global clinical research organization that partners internationally with a variety of companies to do drug trials. Every time they do a drug trial, there is a manual form in email that requires consent. But with Box Relay, they're able to actually use one version-controlled file throughout the entire lifecycle. And when that entire content history lives in Box, you're not only audit ready, but the entire process moves much more seamlessly. And then finally, we have NASA with its Field Operations Division that authors and disseminates critical instructions for other departments. With Box Relay, they're actually going to be able to streamline the creation of these documents and remove all the manual overhead that was slowing down the process. Let's look at some of the product capabilities that these customers like you are using to actually create these automations. So with our no-code builder, we actually layer on custom triggers, and we have a variety of them to actually initiate the process. And then we actually provide conditional logic that you can use to map to your business process. Of course, there's a unified view for all users to see the tasks that are assigned to them or that they've created. And then we actually provide the ability to tie a task to a group versus an individual. We provide a bunch of outcomes that you can use throughout the course of a workflow, including classifications based on policies in your enterprise. And we actually provide file requests as a way to trigger content submission into a workflow. Of course, we support file packages of multiple files. And Box has provided pre-built templates for every department to get started on building these workflows very quickly. And on top of all of that existing product capability, over the coming months and through the end of this year, we're going to make it easier for you to customize every workflow to your enterprise and to actually connect it to the other applications in your ecosystem. With our file request capability, you're going to actually be able to customize how content is submitted with branding, login enforcement, and configuration APIs. With custom templates, you'll actually be able to standardize the templates that your enterprise uses and manage them centrally. With scheduled workflows, you'll actually be able to configure recurring processes using a specified time window and picking a frequency of cadence. With dynamic variables, you can actually design more flexibly, with variables that you can reference throughout the process and dynamically name files and folders against. And then finally, we're going to enable cross-enterprise workflows by providing you extensibility options. Beginning with our manual start API, you'll actually be able to trigger a relay from a third-party system. And now, to actually talk about how all these existing and upcoming capabilities come together for you to use Relay, I'd like to invite Laura from our solutions engineering team to do a demo for us.
Thanks, Ibrahim. I'm Laura Tagatak, Senior Solutions Engineer, and today I'm going to walk through how these new workflow capabilities can help me with my vendor onboarding process. Whenever I start working with a new vendor, I send them a link to the file request form you see here. This allows them to easily and securely submit all of the documentation needed for onboarding. Box's file request is ideal for any business process centered around content submission, such as gathering documents from new employees, submitting medical records, sharing loan documentation, and more. Once the vendor has submitted their documentation, I get notified that I have some files to review. I can easily keep track of this and any other ongoing work in the all-new Tasks inbox. Relay used the file request fields to automatically route the files to the right people for review and approval. In this case, since the vendor is in the software category, we'll need sign-off from myself and legal, as well as Tom and Lakshmi from our compliance and security teams. We can also find the vendor's form fields have been automatically added to the file metadata in case we need to refer back to them or search for them later. Everything checks out, and it looks like Tom and Lakshmi have already signed off, so I'll go ahead and approve these documents as well. With the documents approved, a folder structure is automatically created for this vendor. By using the vendor's company name they submitted in the file request, Relay is able to customize the folder names for them. This gives me and my team a clear, organized workspace with a standardized taxonomy. Shield and Relay together also allow us to classify their contracts so that this information is kept confidential. And Relay can even add the vendor as a collaborator on all of these folders in case there's any additional documentation they need to provide or update later. Taking a peek under the hood, we can see that this workflow is actually quite easy to put together with the Relay Builder. There are several different trigger types to choose from. In this case, we're using the brand new trigger for file request, which is the form we saw at the beginning. Based on the metadata for vendor type, it's routed appropriately. For software vendors, we need approval from the security, compliance, and legal groups. Now that our partnership with this vendor is underway, there's a second security and compliance process that happens every 2 years. We've used a new time-based trigger to start it here, but coming soon, there will also be a relay API to kick off workflows from other systems outside of Box, like our vendor management system, for instance. This process ensures that our procurement team validates that the vendor agreement is up to date, and the business confirms that the correct vendor contact has access to their folder. Box now enables customers to create their own workflow templates to standardize processes across the enterprise. My company made these custom templates so that any business unit can tailor them to their specific needs. That way, I can get a jumpstart on building workflows based on pre-approved company guidelines, and I don't have to start from scratch. Box has also recently added a number of other pre-built templates for different lines of business, so I can see other ways of streamlining my own processes. Whether you're in sales, legal, HR, or any other department, you'll find best practices for automation and can start building workflows in minutes. My repetitive and manual work can now be easily automated. Relay is a simple yet powerful way to accelerate key processes for your enterprise. And now, over to Michelle to talk about integrations.
Thanks, Laura. Hi, my name is Michelle O, and I work on our Partner Integrations product management team here at Box. One of Box's core differentiators is our ability to integrate across all our apps. Every app in your IT stack comes with its own content store. Now suddenly you have many clouds, each with their own silo of data. Not only does this create a fragmented user experience, but each becomes a security and compliance risk that needs to be separately managed, accessed, and secured. The good news is that Box can help centralize and secure all that content in one place. With Box, content that originates in one app can easily be accessed and collaborated on in another app. In other words, by centralizing content in Box, this creates a single source of truth for content across all of your apps, creating a more open and integrated enterprise. I'm proud to say that Box integrates with over 1,500 integrations today. Let's look at some of our most popular integrations. With productivity applications, Box is the only content management solution that natively integrates with all major editing suites. You can create and co-edit Office, G Suite, and iWork files directly in Box and have all edits saved back automatically. For team collaboration, Box integrates with key apps including Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom. Teams can easily share and securely access Box content directly within those apps. And when it comes to business process applications like Salesforce and NetSuite, Box integrations transform the value of content in those systems. Today, users add files as attachments, which have limited functionality. But when you add those files into Box, suddenly those attachments become searchable, easier to manage, secure. Those are just a few of our most popular apps, but we have deep integrations across dozens of categories, which represent just a fraction of our full ecosystem. Now let's dive into some of our most recent and upcoming product releases. This past fall, we launched a new and improved integration with Slack. Now users can easily share, search, and even grant permissions to their Box files directly in Slack. What's more is that admins can now more easily control how Box content is shared with Slack. This year, Box and Zoom released 2 new integrations to help users more easily work from anywhere. Users can easily share Box files directly from within Zoom, or you can actually create or join a Zoom meeting directly from your Box Files view. And just last month, we released a brand new integration with the Adobe Document Cloud team. Now users can reorganize PDFs right in Box or convert any file into a PDF with one click. The Box for G Suite integration, users can create, edit, and save doc sheets and slides directly in Box. This year, we released the ability for admins to migrate Google files directly from Google Drive to Box using Box Shuttle. And last quarter, we relaunched a new and improved Teams integration, where users can more easily collaborate on Box files within Teams, and admins can use Box as their primary content management solution for all enterprise content shared in Teams. Now let's see that in action, where I'll jump into a quick demo. So now here, we are in our Microsoft Teams instance, where I've already installed our Box for Teams integration. You can see that Box shows up in 2 places. First, we see the Box app pinned in our message compose bar. Here, users can either upload files from their device directly into Box, or share files if they're already in Box. Secondly, you'll see here that we have our Box Files tab. When users share or upload files into channel, those files get automatically added to this Box Files tab. When you create a Teams channel, a Box folder is automatically created. Or if you already have an existing Box folder, you can associate it with your Teams channel, and permissions will be synced automatically. So let's try this out. My colleague Sachin has asked for our latest press release. So I'll go ahead and click Upload File to Box, and you'll see that it generates a drag and drop area for me to either drag and drop a file, or I can launch the file picker. So I'll drag this press release draft into my desktop. And when I click Upload, you'll see that it automatically creates this rich content card that allows my teammates in channel to see additional context on the file. And on top of that, they can actually click View File. And when they do that, it'll generate a rich Box preview. So they're able to actually completely see the full file directly in Teams without having to leave. Or if they want to do more advanced capabilities on the file, like adding comments, triggering a relay workflow, or assigning tasks, you can actually just click here, View on Box, and it'll launch you into Box.com. Additionally, if I wanted to share a file that's already in Box, either I can click here, which will launch my Box file picker, or I can actually just copy and paste any Box file link. So when I go ahead and do that, you'll see that the automatic content card is unfurled, as well as it generates a rich preview of the file. So with my uploaded and shared links in the file, if I go to my Box Files tab, you'll see that that content is automatically added to this folder. Here's my draft press release, and then on top of that, because the user research report was something that was already existing in file, it creates a bookmark for easy access without changing its original permissions. Now on the Box side, you'll see that I'm automatically collaborated into this Microsoft Teams folder. So if I click into Microsoft Teams, you'll see here that it mirrors the exact channels that I'm a part of in Teams. So in marketing, you'll see these 4 channels, and then here we have these 4 folders in Box. And you can see that the folder that I've uploaded into in public relations, that those files that I've just uploaded, the press release as well as the user research report, are automatically synced. So content between your Box folder and your Teams channel are automatically synced together. On top of that, you'll see here that every single person in my Teams channel is automatically added as a collaborator in this Box folder. So as you can see, with our Box for Teams integration, users can seamlessly share and collaborate on Box files without ever leaving Teams. And for admins, Box can be a system of record where any content shared in Teams can be centrally secured and managed in Box. This is just the beginning of our Box for Teams integration. We have an exciting joint roadmap with Microsoft where we continue to innovate and add new features and capabilities every quarter. So stay tuned for exciting updates. Everything I've shared up to this point is available in our product today. Now let's take a look at what's coming up next. Earlier I mentioned admins can now move files from Google Drive to Box, and soon users will be able to do the same. In addition, we'll be extending Box sharing into G Suite, so users will be able to invite Box users to collaborate right from within the Google file in Box. As I mentioned earlier in the demo, with the Box for Teams integration, users can today choose a Box folder to associate with their Teams channel. We'll soon be releasing the same feature for private messages and chat. In addition, we'll be releasing instant permissions, which allows users to immediately grant access to Box files without leaving Teams. Our integration ecosystem is ever evolving, and today I'm excited to share upcoming innovations with 3 of our key partners. Cisco plans to enhance their newest Box WebEx integration, adding folder-to-channel mapping and a brand new web application inside Box. DocuSign plans to release agreement actions that will allow admins to set Box as a primary storage location for all signed DocuSign documents. And finally, ServiceNow will integrate Box into their recently launched legal services delivery product offering. And you can discover these apps and many more in our newly redesigned Box App Gallery. I'm excited to announce that for the first time ever, we'll be bringing our app gallery into our core web experience, making it even easier for users to find, discover, and install new Box integrations. So this gallery represents the depth of our integrations that Box and our partners have built. But did you know that with our open platform, you can build your own custom applications? To talk a little bit more about that, let me bring on my colleague, Will.
Thanks, Michelle. I'm Will, and I lead platform products here at Box. Our team's mission is simple. We enable Box to be the unified content layer across every application in your stack. As Aaron shared earlier, Box APIs power the entire experience you've seen today. From Box's own applications to the partner integrations that we offer, those same capabilities are available via API to build the tools and integrations you need to power your business. Box's APIs range from content management to the security and collaboration features you already use, now available to any apps that you choose. But it doesn't stop there. Box also builds best-in-class tools to help you on your development journey, making it easier than ever to take advantage of those APIs with less time and less effort. We help developers to discover what Box APIs can do with in-depth documentation and guides, onboard to Box's developer tools quickly and begin work in a safe environment, build in the programming language of their choice and work with admins to manage their apps, and finally, analyze application usage and Box activity via API. We're always aiming to improve the platform experience. Here's a look at what's to come later this year. First, we're working with teams across Box to add more to the API capabilities that platform offers. You'll be able to protect folder structures, download files in one zip, manage metadata at scale, use metadata to search, send file requests, and trigger relay workflows, all in the coming months. Next, we're revisiting the core experience for developers, making it easier to create, authenticate, and get started with apps. Speaking of getting started, we're also launching an integrated experience between our developer guides and app creation flows. The goal is to take you from start to finish with real use cases and vastly simplify setup along the way. As builders ourselves, we know that it can be frustrating when your app isn't working as expected and you don't know why. We're going to help solve this problem by launching App Diagnostics, a new set of API activity tools to monitor and troubleshoot your apps, and even export that information for further data exploration. Ultimately, these improvements lead to deeper connections between Box and all of your applications, allowing content-centric flows to be centralized, secure, and automated. Now, we'd love to show you a demonstration of how this might work in your enterprise. Here to do just that is my colleague, Matt Glaves. Take it away, Matt.
Hey friends, my name is Matt Glaves, and I'm a solutions engineer with Box. Our organization utilizes SAP ERP as a system of record for all financial transactions. With a new engagement kicking off, I have some project documents I need to not only have endorsed by our IT department, but once approved, I want to expose them to our vendors and subcontractors via our Salesforce Communities portal. Using the standard SAP interface, I could add a file to my project, or I could provide direct access to Box from within any view in SAP utilizing Box UI elements, which allows me to centralize my content across all my systems. Box UI elements are a React-based framework that allow me to quickly integrate and extend Box into all my applications without the requirement to, say, code a user interface. For project data, I want to utilize Box not only for the reasons I mentioned earlier, but I have a pretty complete retention and classification hierarchy built on Box that I'd like to leverage as well. I now see a familiar Box folder automatically pre-populated with a common project folder structure, and I can upload all my project files directly into Box right from SAP. Once uploaded, a couple of things happen. Utilizing the all-new Box Relay API, it'll create an approval task, assign that task to my IT department for approval, and once approved, apply a Box Shield classification to the document in a manner that automatically exposes it to my Salesforce Communities portal. As I flip to my community page and click on the documents, I see that my subcontractor has a permission-limited view of the project content. My two systems, SAP and Salesforce, are both utilizing Box as a system of record, exposing content exactly where I need it. It also eliminates the requirement to switch between applications, streamlining my process flows. And lastly, Box UI elements, along with our SDKs and well-documented APIs, allow for ease of integration with all my existing systems. With that, I'll hand control back over to Varun.
Thank you, Matt. I hope all of you are as excited as we are about all this great innovation that we're going to be delivering over the next couple of months. So let's go ahead and summarize everything that we talked about, starting with what's available today. When it comes to security and compliance, we couldn't be more excited with the automatic classification capability that got launched a couple of months ago. along with the malware detection capability that makes advanced threat detection possible inside of Shield. When it comes to collaboration and workflow, we launched the all-new Box along with collections and annotation capability, and significant enhancements to the file request capability as well as Box Relay. And on the integrations front, there were a slew of enhancements across Microsoft Teams, Slack, Zoom, Adobe Acrobat, along with enhancements on the developer experience with the launch of developer sandboxes. And what's coming soon over the next few months is a significant enhancement across all of these areas. On Shield, we're going to have both policy as well as alert exceptions. We're going to integrate with Microsoft Information Protection. We're going to have enhancements on mobile application management, as well as significant updates to Box governance with the launch of event-driven retention. On collab and workflow, you're going to see us do some magic with annotations on mobile, with support for Apple Pencil as well as Apple Scribble, which will allow you to convert your handwriting into text, as well as support for large files up to 150 gigs. And enhancements to our desktop product, which is Box Drive, with automatic lock and unlock capabilities. And then when it comes to integrations, we're going to have a significant enhancement to our Microsoft Teams integration, as well as enhancements to our application gallery that will bring all of these great integrations at the doorsteps of all of our end users. Now, admins are at the heart of making Box successful. In fact, today, we have over 200,000 admins that are responsible for the deployment of Box in their respective organizations. As we walk through all of these great enhancements, stuff that we've released recently, as well as stuff that's coming out, it actually can be challenging to keep up with all of this rate of innovation that we have. So to make it easier for the admins, we're going to be launching this brand new capability that we call What's New Message Center, that will allow you to see inside of the Box product, what is it that we've launched recently and what's coming next. We're also going to make sure that this experience delivers things like a listing of all the events that are happening, as well as access to Box education content and on-ramp to our community site. And we are taking this opportunity to make the whole slew of Box education content available to you for free. This includes basic, intermediate, and advanced content, as well as make Box consulting services more accessible to each and every one of you to make sure you speed up deployment and adoption of Box inside of your organization to realize a faster time to value. So that's a wrap for the product keynote session. I thank you for your time, and I hope you'll take advantage of one of the many breakout sessions happening later today, as well as the networking chats and virtual briefings. Have a nice day, and thank you again.